أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Although attendance is very low, but we will start our class. Can I request anyone who can unmute and recite this prayer for me, please? Tahir Sahab or anyone else?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي زدني علما. O my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
Jazakumullah. Thank you very much. Now, last week we learned about rules of waqf, and if do you know why we? Can anyone let me know what are the three reasons we pause or stop during our recitation? That's the three possible reasons we learn.
One is because a verse comes to an end.
Yes.
And then the other one is that you're short of breath.
Yeah.
And the other one is you could have a compulsory pause sign.
Yes, Jazakumullah. Thank you very much. And this is an example, like this. Sometime it's some Quran you will find it's a round sign, but in here it's a square sign, and in between the verse number is written. That's the first reason we stop during our recitation. And then, as rightly mentioned, that sometime there's a compulsory sign, and there are two ways to look into it. There's sometime it's written, this meme stands for waqf lazim, and if you see in between two words, then it means that you have to stop there. And or outside, you will find is written as well, waqf lazim. You can go for this sign as well. So if this one is not written, only this one is written, but if you know that's what this meme stands for, then you will stop there. And I specifically mentioned that there are certain places where another kind of meme is written on the top, and this meme will not, this meme stands for iqlab rule, and it will not be written in between like this one. This one is written in between two words, and this is on the top of a letter. And this represents a different rule, and this represents a different rule. And this in between two words means then that we have to stop on this word. And this meme on the top of a letter represents a rule of iqlab. And third thing mentioned that that this verse is quite lengthy, and if you cannot continue, then you make a meaningful pause on different words, and then you have to follow the rule. When you start again, you start from the meaningful word, and whenever you stop on a meaningful word. And then we learned about three possible changes happen when we work. Number one, there will not any change. Whatever you are reading, you will read accordingly as it is. And the number two, the last letter will be read with like a vertical fatha or alif madda for 2 seconds. And the third possible thing is where the last letter is muted, or already muted, or there will not be any change. And sometimes certain signs and strokes change into a sukoon sign. So only these three possible changes happen. And we explored now these 5 rules. We learned that, can anyone please come forward and let me know these 5 rules? If they can go for them by heart now, I think that will be much better. Or otherwise I can present the slide as well.
I can have a go if someone else doesn't want to have a go. I just want to.
Okay, this is basically for revision purpose as well. It's not, I'm not judging that you have how good your memory is, but it's just for the revision purpose. So if you can revise, let's see how many you can revise, then I will present the slide as well.
Okay. Do I need to read this slide or?
No, just give me the 5,
The first one is the round ta becomes a ha, so it changes into a sakin ha.
Yes, well done.
The fatha, kasra, dhamma, and kasra then and dhamma then they end up ending with a sakin.
Well done.
And then the fatha then the one with the 2 zabad that ends with like an alif madda sound.
Yes, sometimes vertical fatha and sometimes alif.
And then
basically a sound for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Then there's the letters. I think the letters of lean and the madda letters.
Yes.
They don't change.
X.
If there's I think that there's no change.
Yes. And if some letter is already a sakin letter, then obviously there will not be any change.
Yeah.
Yes. And the number 5th.
Oh yes, it's the if there's that blank ya, then the letter changes. The fatha changes to vertical.
Vertical fatha. Excellent, well done. Now, if you remember these by heart, so it will be so easy to apply those rules. Now, look, round ta and round ha will change into a sakin ha. Fatha, kasra, dhamma, kasra, ten, dhamma, ten. 5 signs will change into a sukoon. And then fatha, ten will change into vertical fatha or alif madda. And if a fatha will change into vertical fatha, if a maftu letter is followed by a blank ya. And then fatha, alif, madda letters, lean letters, and the already sakin letter, there will not be any change. Well done. Jazakumullah. Now, today's lesson is basically, we have covered in this course, and by the way, I would just want to let you know the next week will be the last class before Ramadan, and we will convene again after Ramadan, and we will let you know what time will be. And now what we have covered in this course up till now, I don't know if you are feeling we covered slowly, but some people are thinking we have covered quite quickly. But I don't know what is what do you think about it? But inshallah ta'ala, after Ramadan, we will be revising all these rules again, and at the same time we'll be applying to the recitation as well. So we learned first the recognition of Arabic letters. We learned all Arabic letters, how you can pronounce. And then we learned that there are 29 Arabic letters, and some of them are thick and some of them are the light letters. And then 3 letters, Alif, Lam, and Ra, basically are conditionally thick letters. And then we learned about Lamul Jalala, that in divine word of Allah, if the preceding letter has got fatha and dhamma, then the lam of Allah, word Allah will be pronounced with the heavy sound. And if the preceding letter is kasra, has got kasra, then lam in word Allah will be pronounced with a thin sound, like Bismillahi and Kitabullah, something like that. And then we learn about short vowels, fatha, kasra, dhamma. There are 3 short vowels, and they are pronounced only for 1 second. Then we learned about the signs of long stretch with vertical fatha, vertical kasra, and inverse dhamma. They are pronounced for 2 seconds. And then we learned about tanween, like two tanween, doubling of the short vowels, two fatha, two kasra, and two dhammas, and they produce noon sound, tin, tan, gun, like this. And then we learned about sukoon. Then we learned about tashdid, the shadda sign. And then we learned about gunna, and we know that there are only two letters, mim and noon, which produce gunna sound. And then we learned about long vowels, haruful madda. Then we learned soft elongation, madde leen. Is there anyone who can let me know what are the three conditions of haruful madda? We know that they uh, in, elongate the sound for 2 seconds, but there are conditions to these three letters, alif, waw, and ya. These are three huruful madda letters. If anyone can let me know what are these three conditions with alif, waw, and ya?
The alif needs to have no harkat and the preceding letter needs to have a fatha. The vaw needs to have a sukoon sign and the preceding letter needs to have a dhamma. And the ya needs to have a sukoon sign and the preceding letter needs to be a kasra.
Well done. Thank you very much. And the madalin?
So the ya and vaw have sukoon sign on it and the preceding letter has fatha.
Well done. And is there any special thing with the Hamza Sakin?
Is that the blank alif?
You know, the blank alif is without sign and stroke is a alif. And as soon as any sign or stroke on it, it becomes a Hamza sound. That's what we learned, yes?
Yeah.
But
is the Hamza Sakin, we have to do a bit of a jerking sound?
Yes, that's what I was expecting. Hamza Sakin, you need to pronounce like ma'ul, like this kind. To, yeah?
Yeah.
Jitana, tu'minuna, like these kind of words we have learned. Ma'ul. Yeah, this is the Hamza Sakin. Okay, and is there anyone else who can let me know about Hamzatul Wasl? Sorry, Wasl first, not Hamzatul Wasl, just Wasl.
Well, I was going to ask you to revise that one. That's the one I've sort of forgotten a bit.
Okay. Wasl mean combining. And you know that we learned that mutaharrik letter join with the sakin letter and the mushaddad letter. You want me to revise these?
Please, if you can just show an example. Just
okay.
That's sort of gone from my head.
No problem. Okay, this is the, you know, the Hamza Sakin, and we learned that so Hamza is a very special, you know, sometimes it appears on different letters as well. So you need to remember if Hamza appears on the top of Alif or just without like this, or Hamza Alif with sukoon sign, all these are Hamza, different shapes. So you need to pronounce the same like the soft jerking sound. Ma, a, to, like this. So this is the original Hamza with sukoon. This is Alif letter, and on the top is a sukoon sign, it becomes Hamza. And this Alif on the top is Hamza, and that's a sukoon sign. So you will completely ignore Alif, and you will just think it's a Hamza with sukoon sign. And here you will completely ignore Ya, because the Hamza on the top, you will just look at the Hamza and the sign, sukoon sign. And here you will look just Hamza, you completely ignore the Waw. So different types of Hamzas are written on different situations. So please ignore the letter below. You just recite the Hamza sound. These were the examples. Look, akhta'na, ma'kul, na'kuzu, like this soft jerking sound. Now we are revising joining Hamza, which is Hamzatul Wasl. Some Quranic word starts with a blank alif, and when we read those words, then we need to decide which sign will go on the top of a blank alif. So there are three possible things here. Look, we will explore. In number one, you just look if the next letter after alif is lam. You decide quickly the fatha will go on the top of alif. Number one. Number two, you think if it's not lam, then you will need to look what is the next mutaharrik letter. Not this is dal is a sakin letter. Next mutaharrik letter. Mutaharrik letter means any letter which has got fatha, kasra, or dhamma. These strokes. So if that next mutaharrik letter is dhamma, then you will put a dhamma on the top of alif. The first thing you need to see if its next letter is lam. Lam with sukoon or with shadda or without even any sign, alif will always take fatha. Or if it's not lam, then you will need to look next what is the next mutaharrik letter. If it next mutaharrik letter carries dhamma, you will put alif on the top of alif dhamma. And similarly, if next letter is not lam and next mutaharrik letter is not carrying dhamma, then you will put always kasra. It means fatha if next letter has got kasra or fatha, because dhamma is done here, lam is done here. So the next you will left is only kasra and fatha. In both cases, you will put fatha on the kasra underneath alif. Did you get this one now?
Yeah. So are you saying that if the preceding letter, whether it is a kasra or a fatha, then it becomes the lam has a kasra? Is that right?
No. We are not talking. We are talking about alif, blank alif.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number one, you see this is the blank alif. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next you need to see if it's a letter lam. After alif, there is a letter lam. Then we will put fatha on the top of this alif. Yes. Then we will read al-maliku, because look here, we can see al-maliku. Yeah. Because this fatha came on the top of alif, reason because after alif there is a lam. Yes.
With lam, it's always fatha. Then.
Always fatha. That's the first point. Yes. Yeah. And if there is a not lam, like in this example, next is dal. Yeah. Next is kaf. Next is ta, letter ta. So if there is not lam, then you need to go further up and see what is the sign on the next mutaharrik letter. Yeah. If it's a dhamma, then alif will always take dhamma. Yeah. And if the next letter is not lam and next letter is not lam, or next letter is not a lam but mutaharrik letter is carrying fatha, dhamma, then alif will take dhamma. Otherwise, here kasra or fatha will always take, alif will take kasra.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Now, another thing I think you asked me to revise was this wasl. What is combining? Yes, that's what you are saying. Look, we learned that in between wasl means joining. So this mutaharrik letter and the sakin letter will always join together, and in between all strokeless letter will be dropped. And either it's a sakin letter or mushaddad letter. So these are the two signs when the two letters join together. Sukoon sign and the tashdeed sign help to join together previous mutaharrik letter. Yes, that's the only thing we need to remember. Mutaharrik letter join with the sakin letter, and mutaharrik letter join with the mushaddad letter. That's the point I want to make sure you must know that. Now, today's lesson, that's what we want to cover. Then inshallah ta'ala, our course will, first level 1 will be covered in this course. And after Ramadan, we will do inshallah more practice, and then we will learn the next stage of this course as well. If we continue, the people decide to continue. Okay, today I'm gonna teach you about idgham. Idgham means merging or assimilation. So if remember noon sakin and tanween. Tanween means 2 fatha, 2 kasra or 2 dhamma. These two letters, especially noon sakin or tanween. Noon sakin means noon carries sukoon sign, is followed by any of these 6 letters. 1, ya, noon, mim, waw, ra, and lam. If these 6 letters are followed by noon sakin or tanween, then assimilation idgham will take place. And there are 2 different rules of idgham. Idgham with nasal sound and idgham without nasal sound. If you want to remember a letter, if I ask you what are the letter of assimilation, then you can say there are 6 letter of assimilation. Ya, noon, mim, waw, and ra, and lam. To remember these 6 letters, you need to remember this word, yarmaloon. So if you remember yarmaloon, so you will know that there are 6 letters which are called merging assimilation letter, idgham letters. So ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, and noon. But I have mentioned that there are 2 different categories of assimilation or merging, with nasal sound and without nasal sound. So further division, I will break it down now into like this: yan, mu. If you remember yan, mu, these 4 letters are always joined with the nasal sound. And this ra and lam are joined without nasal sound. No noon sound will be read when you merge together. So you will know quickly when you see the examples. We all know that, but only it's a matter of learning the rule. Look, this meme carrying sukoon sign, and we say if meme noon sakin is followed by a letter ra and lam, then with assimilation will take place without nasal sound. So look, we will, this is min la dun ka. But as soon as we are going to join together, so this noon will milla, no noon sound. We directly join mim with lam mushaddad, milla dun ka. Yes? Here tanween, we know that it produces khairun. Look, this tanween always produces the noon sound as well. Khairun, run, mun, like this. But as soon as tanween, noon sakin or tanween, next letter is lam or ra. 2 letters, lam or ra. Then noon will not be pronounced. So here we will say khairul lakum. We will not write khairun. If we read separately, it will be khairun lakum. But when we are going to join together, assimilation, merging together, then noon sound will disappear, and we will say khairul lakum. Not we will say khairul lakum. No, not noon sound. Similarly here, look, noon sakin followed by a mushaddad ra. Then, and we learned in the wasl that the tashdid helps with the joining with the previous vowel letter, stroke mutaharrak letter. So this ra is a mushaddad. So we are going to join with the preceding mim mutaharrak. But noon, in between there is a noon sound. But now we learn that if there is a lam and ra after noon sakin or tanween, noon will not be read. So we will say mir rabbihim. not min rabbihim. Mir rabbihim. See, straight meme sound will go to join with ra. Mir rabbihim. Similarly, Raufur Rahim, not Raufur Rahim. If it's separate, then it will be a Raufun. But now Raufur Rahim. So if anyone can come forward and read these two lines, bottom one. Shahida Sahiba, please. Or Tahir Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum.
First, let me know, have you now understood the rule of assimilation merging?
Not fully.
Okay, no problem. You know that I said there are 6 letters which helps to merge together. Yes?
Yes.
And those assimilation letters are Yarmalun. Yeah, yes, these. But further, because there are 2 categories, merging with Gunna sound and merging without Gunna sound. So we will go like to learn this Yanmu 4 letters with nasal sound and Ra and La without nasal sound. So we are practicing at the moment without nasal sound. So you need to look after Noon Sakin or Meme, if a Ram and La, Ra and Lam, then no nasal sound. Now please read these 2 lines.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من لدنك خير لكم من ربهم رؤوف رحيم الله مسفر زلو
Ralla zallu, musfaralla zallu.
مسفر زلو.
Yes.
من روح الله رب الرحيم.
Yes.
لو استقاموا بحر اللجي
Lujjin. Look first. There are 3 tashdid. Lam has got tashdid, Jim has got tashdid, Ya has got tashdid. And tashdid, where tashdid appears, it means it is going to join with the previous mutharak letter. So everywhere little bit stress.
Okay.
And then joining together.
بحر اللجي.
Yes. Next.
فما ربكما.
Yes.
شهاب الرصدان.
Not Rasada, because Ra is a separate, Saad is a separate. Though both has got Fatha. It's not, there is no schoon, no tashdid, so we cannot join together. Okay. Joining is only when there is tashdid or schoon.
Okay.
So Ra, Sa, like 2 separate sounds.
Shihab Rasada.
Again, Rasada. No, Rasada.
Shihab Rasada.
Well done. And once more.
Shihab Rasada.
Bar Rasada.
Shihab Rasada.
Yes, Jazakumullah. Anyone else, please?
Yes, I'll do.
Yes. Yeah, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Milladunka khairul lakum mir rabbihim Ra'ufur Rahim. Ra'ufur Rahimun. Allah musfarallah dhallu mirrohillahi rabbir rahimin Allah wistaqamu bahril lujjiyin famar rabbukuma shihabarasadan.
Again, once more.
Shihabarasadan.
Once more.
Shihabarasadan.
Well done. Jazakumullah. Now you have learned that you know that there are two types of simulation, without nasal sound and with nasal sound. With nasal sound, now we are going to practice, and you need to take care. If you find these 4 letters, yan, mu, remember, yan, mu, ya, noon, mim, wow, yan, mu, ya, noon, mim, wow. If these 4 letters appears after noon, sakin or tanween, then the simulation will be with nasal sound. Look, these are the examples. Noon sakin followed by ya, mi, yawmin, yeah? Noon sound will be there. Waliyan ala akum ahum.
When you do that,
yushraka.
Sorry, when you do that sound, do you hold it for 2 seconds as well?
So unna sound always 2 seconds, yes.
2 seconds. So,
yeah. Now you see, now you need to noon sakin followed by ya here, tanween followed by waw here, noon sakin followed by mim here, and noon sakin followed by ya here, and here tanween followed by waw. So all 4 letters are here, noon sakin or tanween followed by 4 letters, yan, mu, ya, noon, mim, waw. You need to join together, merge together with nasal sound. So there's another practice now. Start again now for me. Anyone else? Tahir Sahib, Shuaib Sahib, and G7024. Quite a number of people. Please unmute yourself and don't worry. We are not marking any. There's no exam. We are just learning. We're all learning. I'm learning with you as well. Amtul Majid Saba, I think.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Sorry, I just joined anyway, but I would like to try.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat the rule or you will get it?
Maybe let me read and then you can correct me from there. I don't know.
Okay. Jazakumullah.
Okay. Mi yawmin wali yawwala akum ma'ahum ayyushraka.
Noon sound should be clear. Yushraka.
Ayyushraka.
Yeah.
Mu'minatin wadiyatun.
Once more.
Mu'minatin wadiyatun. Ta'iri yatiru. Wala amatun mu'minatun ayyuki'a.
Yuki'a.
Ayyuki'a.
Ayyuki'a. 2 seconds like this. Yeah.
Ayyuki'a.
Yeah.
La yaj'alallahu.
Is there any kalkala letter here?
No. Yes,
G,
yes.
which one?
Jim.
Well done. Jazakumullah. Now make a calculus sound there.
Okay. Lan yaj'ala Allahu
Well done.
sakanan wa man yakhafuhu azaban min.
Well done. Jazakumullah. Anyone else? Well done. Without even listening, you can read perfectly. Okay, next one.
Assalamu alaikum. Can I have a go if no one else wants to at the moment?
Yes, please.
So from the top, yeah?
No, from here.
Oh,
Second last line.
Oh, Maylatan wahidatan la'ibun.
Again, look.
Maylatan wahidatan.
Yes.
La'ibun wa lahwun burujim mushayyadatin.
Now read this as a you are going to stop there.
Burujim mushayyadah.
Well done.
Mim waraqitin.
Again, please.
Mim waraqatin.
Yes.
Famustaqarrum wa.
Karrum.
Famustaqarrum wa.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Sure.
Yeah.
Ratbim wala.
Okay, just 1 second. Is there any calcula letter here?
Yeah, the ta.
Yes.
So,
and now you will be reciting. You will be making calcula sound on ta, as well as you are going to stop at the last letter. Yes.
Ratbim wala.
What change will happen?
Just 2 seconds, I think.
No change will happen.
No
Excellent.
change.
Yes, well done.
Shia wa.
Yeah, should not be prolonged.
Oh, Shia wa.
Yes. Wa.
Shia
wa.
Shia wa. Naba'im mustaqarun. No. Naba'im mustaqarun.
Ba should not be prolonged. Naba'im.
Naba'im mustaqarun. Is it
Mustaqarrun?
Yeah, this is not going quite right.
Stress, a little bit stress on ra because tashdid is there.
So naba'im mustaqarrun.
Karrun, yes. Naba'im mustaqarrun.
Naba'im mustaqarrun.
Well done. Okay, now there's a combine. I think I will same thing, but there is no involvement of noon sakin or tanween. But still, we have learned that assimilation or idgham will take place because of this tashdeed. Yes, and when there is a mushaddad letter, and in between if there is a sakin letter, then we will join directly with the mutharak and the mushaddad, and the sakin in between will not be recited. So there is only, you need to remember mushaddad letter, and in between mutharak there is a sakin letter. You will not read this sakin letter. You join directly with the tashdid. Hattu. Yes. Kat tabayyana ahattu kurrabbi. Now I will not reading look lam here. I will not read it ta here. I will not read dal here, because tashdid will directly go and join with the last mutharak letter. Now read these 2 lines for me, and then we will. Shahida Sahaba.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam.
Could you explain it again, please? Because I missed.
No, you know, we have learned Tajdeed. We have learned when we see Tajdeed, Tajdeed means it. We put a stress on that letter and it is joining with the previous Mutharak letter. So I'm only letting you know that when there is a Tajdeed like this, Ta has got Tajdeed and Kaf has got Fatha, that's Mutharak Kaf, yes? So in between there is a Dal. When we join this Tajdeed letter with this Mutharak letter, Dal will not be recited. We join directly Kaf with Ta. Kattabayyana. Yes? We will not say Kadda. Katta. Katta. Yeah?
Okay. So Kattabayyana.
Yes.
Ahattu.
Yes.
Kurabbi.
Yes.
Nakhlukum.
No, this lam is joining with this kaf and no kalkala. You see, there is a chance of mistake. We see this is a kalkala kaf, thick kaf, but we are not reciting this kaf because of this kaf has got tashdid. So this lam mutharak will join this simple kaf. So no, kalkala here.
Okay. Nakhlukum.
Lukum.
Nakhlukum.
Yes. Next one.
Irkam ma'ana.
Irkam ma'ana.
Irka ma'ana.
Kam ma'ana. Kam.
Okay.
Kam. Tashdid, little bit tashdid, stress on meme, yes?
Okay. Irka ma'ana.
Ma'ana.
Ma'ana. Irka ma'ana.
This may be difficult for the moment. This is quite challenging. Just read it if you can.
Falamma athqala da'a wallaha.
Yes. You see, look, this waw has got fatha and in between there are two alif, but we will all ignore these because of this lam has got tashdid. Or this lam will join with dal. Askaladda wallaha. This ta will be ignored as well. Yes?
Okay. Okay.
This one, last one.
Rawattunna.
Yeah, little bit longer.
Rawattunna.
Well done. Jazakumullah. Now again, we come back here. Anyone else? Anika Sahaba, can you please?
Ji.
You will be the last two lines and these last two lines. Yeah.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله مسفر مسفر اللزلو.
No, far. No, you cannot say far.
Oh,
because fa is a Musfar allazallu.
Musfar allazallu.
Well done.
Mir rawhillahi. Rabbir rahimin. Allavistaqamu. Bahril lujjiyin. Famar rabbukuma. Shihabar rasadan. Sorry, I'll read that again. Shihaban rasadan.
And these last two lines.
Mailatan wahidatan. La'ibu walahubun.
Are you making a gunna sound here or without gunna? Is it idgham with gunna or without gunna?
This would be with the gunna.
What are the four letters of with gunna?
It's ya, noon, meme, and vav.
Well done. Read it.
Burujim mushayyadatin min waraqatin famustaqarru famustaqarrum wa. Is that better?
Yeah.
Ratbin wala shiya'an wa naba'im mustaqarrun.
Once more.
Naba'im mustaqarrun. Sorry.
No, karrun. There's stress here on the last bit.
Okay. Naba'im mustaqarrun.
Yes. And this last line.
Irkam ma'ana falamma athqalat da'awallaha rawattunna.
Excellent. MashaAllah. Next one. Shoaib Sahib. Now you Azan Sahib. Or Tahir Sahib. Or G7024. Assalamu alaikum. I think. Okay, now no one would like to read anyone else? Okay, because it's Maghrib Namaz time as well. Now I think we finished the class today, and I would just want to let you know the next week, inshallah ta'ala, will be the last class before Ramadan, and we will let you know the next program for the after Ramadan. Jazakumullah for attending today's class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.